River City Junction, River City. Next station stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit's no good for a notion salesman.
Board, all aboard.
Why? What's the matter with credit?
Why, it's old-fashioned. Hey, Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City, next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods, cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the firkins.
Cash for the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the flypaper.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk?
You could talk, you could talk. You could bicker, you could talk. You could bicker, bicker, bicker. You could talk, you could talk. You could talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You could talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why it's the Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it? Not a Model T at all. Took a dinner at the store. We're at the modern store. We're at the present day store. We're at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
You could talk, you could bicker. You could talk, you could bicker. You could talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. Talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Right, so you need a biscuit made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in a package in a package. You need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete, obsolete, obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pouch cut plug drawn by the stove. Changed the approach of the traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But you gotta know the territory.
Gone, gone. Gone with the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill?
Hell.
Hill?
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 Hill!
No!
Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill.
No, he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his
Or
line.
the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or that you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line?
Or a doggone thing, he's just a bang beat, bell ringing, big Paul, great go, neck or nothing, rip roaring, every time's a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Harold Hill. Tell us what's his line, what's his line?
He's a fake penny, doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what? He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniforms too with a shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones, no sir. Mandolin picks perhaps, and here and there a Jew's harp.
No, the fella sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it. But he lives like a king, and he dallies, and he gathers, and he plucks, and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, River City, River City. We've crossed the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes are illegal in the state. Bart?
You guys are finished. I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I'll tell you this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, next salesman to arrive automatically gets tarred and feathered and rode to the city limits on a rail. Oh, you think it's funny? You think it's funny? Oh, you think it's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back. Ever.
Hey, Charlie, so why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Well, ordering for him to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he's got a guarantee to teach the kids how to play.
Well,
And form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's the matter with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He don't know a bass drum from a pipe organ. But one day I'm going to catch up with that swindling two-bit thimble ringer, and when I do, I'm going to squill on him so loud.
You're mad, Charlie. Gee, I'd sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Oh, I will, but it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to sell those neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here. Nope.
Bart, gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Oh, there's nothing halfway about the Iowa way to treat you when we treat you, which we may not do at all. There's an Iowa kind, a special chip on the shoulder attitude we've never been without that we recall. We could be cold as our falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so bygone stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But what the heck, you're welcome. Join us at the picnic. You can have your fill of all the food you bring yourself. You really ought to give Iowa a try.
Provided you are contrary.
Good morning, Mershin.
Good morning, Mayor Shin.
it is, if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
And there I was at Madison City Hospital, and no one come to visit. Cousin Will didn't come. Aunt Bertha didn't come.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
Well, she wouldn't have come anyways.
We could be cold as our falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so bygone stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and a bag to go with it. If your crop should happen to die.
But what the heck? You're welcome. Join us at the picnic.
You really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Keokuk, Ames, Clear Lake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires. Yes, I am interested in a rig for Sunday if you could accommodate me.
Then I suppose you ought to talk to the man in charge of hiring rigs, who's late as usual.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Marcellus.
Gregory?
Oh,
Greg,
oh,
son of a gun!
Oh, shh. The name's Hill, Professor Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why'd you tell me you was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how could I know that you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Well, too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Oh, gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So what's the pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard you were in steam automobiles.
I was.
Well, what happened?
Somebody actually invented one. No. Yeah. Now, give me the lowdown here, Mars.
Well, you're not going to get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher that'll have you exposed before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
Music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect.
That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
Oh, I will. So, how are we gonna start the pitch?
Oh, same old way. First, I'll keep the music teacher off balance, and then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City's not in any trouble.
Well, then I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. Now you remember, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor's got a new pool table.
They never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. I'll see you later, Marcia. And remember, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Are you Mr. Dunlop?
Yep.
Well, either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take a try to give an ironclad leave to yourself from a 3-reel billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to scorn a balk line game, I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth the first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper, hearing him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trodden race, no, but a race where they sit down right on a horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B. That rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. Say your young men will be frittering away their noon times, every time, short time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door patch with a beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker shirt-tail young ones peeking in the pool hall window after school. You got trouble. Folks right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, that rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. Now, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on where they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Q-Bibs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall and for the dance at the armory, libertine men and scarlet women, and ragtime, shameless music gonna grab your son, your daughter in the arms of a jungle animal instinct, mass terrier. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T, that rhyme with P, and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City,
Trouble, 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 trouble.
heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes at a Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. Aha. So's your old man.
Trouble.
Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T, that rhyme with P, and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is the devil's tool.
Devil's tool.
Oh, yes, you got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble. Here we got big, big trouble.
With a T.
Capital T.
That rhyme with P.
That rhymes with P.
And that stands for pool.
That stands for Oh, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. Right here in River City with a capital T that rhymes with P. That stands for pool. Stands for pool. We surely got trouble, trouble. Right here in River City. Right here.
Did you drop your,
No,
Didn't I meet you in?
no.
I'll only be in town a short while.
Good.
That you, daughter?
Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So, do, la, re, ti, mi. A little slower, and please keep the fingers curved and nice as high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt to find out what the gentleman wanted.
Oh, I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living. I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
Now, darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Shakespeare and Balzac and all those other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
Oh, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about the stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase, who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to the blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, and Noah Webster. You can coach it for yourself out of your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I
have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that the way to come into the house?
Hello.
That's it. That won't do at all. I'll have a kiss from me boy. That lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you would come.
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis has invited you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No. What?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it. No, thank you, Amaryllis. Amaryllis. He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, that's just part of it, Amaryllis.
Well, what's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever speak to me. But I do him every night. I say goodnight to him on the Evening Star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Oh, there, darling, don't cry. Oh, you have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never! I lived up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May
I play my crosshand piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the Evening Star.
I know, Amaryllis, but for the time being, just say, "Good night, my someone." You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining, its brightest light. For good night, my love. For good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say. But I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. Good night. Good night.
Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. Thy banners make tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing, and to J.C. Squires for his fine stereoptician slides, and Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine piano. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River Citizens, to our 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 4 score. Oh, the members of the school board will now be presenting a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not be presenting a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about the costumes, I imagine. Instead, the Watan Yi girls of the local wigwam of the Hiawatha tribe will be presenting a spectacle, My Wife. In which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part. Oh, isn't that nice?
Watan Yi.
Watan Yi.
Watan Yi.
Watan Yi.
We will now count to 20 in the Indian tongue. Een, teen, tada, peda, fip. Who shot me?
Who set off that cracker? Who set it off?
Tommy Gillis did it!
Yes, it was Tommy Gillis who did it.
Tommy Gillis? I wouldn't leave if I was you.
Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's disgrace to our city. 4 score and seven. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will take place provided the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be set to Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow across the creek from the pest house.
Oh, how can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all expected a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the time.
Listen, I'm sick and tired.
Just a minute! I want order here! Order!
Looks like the number 8 is late again tonight.
I make her early.
Oh, she's late, all right.
She's right on time. What's the matter with your watch?
We all have the same time! Will the members of the school board please stop your bickering in public?
All in the world, I said.
Never mind. 4 score!
We heard there was a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Wait just a minute!
Well, is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you please allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want no more exercise until we get this pool table settled.
I
would like to.
Resisting corruption. Smite the devil and keep our young boys pure.
Keep
our boys pure. All right, friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with your trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Remember, my friends, when a handful of trumpet players to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho, whole billiard pile of walls come tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I said a boys' band. Do you hear me? I said River City's got to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. While Professor Harold Hill's on hand, River City's going to have her boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's going to be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Tam-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper bottom, timpani, and horse platoon, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoons. Each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 15 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Boom! Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the sky.
It's like they're flautists. It's like they're playing.
Big finish.
Shake it, darling.
It's like dominoes.
Move these men. I've got to get somebody. Men.
Tommy.
This calls for emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. I haven't seen Iowa people this excited since that night Frank Gotch and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours, barely moving a muscle. Never mind. I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Hey,
Stop that rubbish.
Hey,
He's the one that nearly blew up Mrs. Shin.
Thanks, Professor. Have to make an example out of him. Ringleader, you know, whatever he does, the gang does.
Julie Cly, let me go.
You wild kid, you. Hanging out with my oldest girl. His father's one of those day laborers from the south side of town. You wild kid, you. Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We was just walking together, Julie Cly.
You watch your physiology. I know what you was doing. My youngest girl, Gracie, done seen ya. Now I want you to stay away from my daughter or you will hear from me until who laid the rails. And Hill, I want to talk to you about this band thing over at City Hall, Monday morning, 10 a.m., sharp. Man, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable?
Yes.
I'll be responsible for the boy.
But you don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got a gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Hey, Tommy, I want to talk to you about the band.
Gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
No, I don't want to talk to you about playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? You ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Oh, yeah. Nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Do you realize that nobody has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? There's no place to hang the music.
Julie Cly, wonder where I can get some wire from.
Check in your cellar. That's where people keep wire.
All right.
Oh, Tommy, Constable, I will show you how to break up a gang. Young lady, miss, what's your name?
Anita, I didn't have any idea you were beckoning to me. God.
Well, do you know Tommy Geelis? Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
Only accepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. God.
Well, then, escort the young lady home by way of the library, huh? By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
Oh, you have to.
Yes, sir.
God.
Professor, you seem like a bright young fellow, but you made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
Well, the mayor, he owns that billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. What was my other mistake?
Well, that's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We'd like to have your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificate.
Oh, nothing of the sort.
We need letters and papers.
Make him put up a bond!
Oh, gentlemen, what am I hearing? You, sir. Say ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't sing it.
Down there.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see, singing is only sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir. Ice cream.
I never knew you had it in you.
Ladies, from now on, you will never see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
any
sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some lovely caramels over at my hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Oh, please, please. Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill. I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some of the people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me interesting information about you.
Hey, just Greg. Oh, Greg. Greg Marcellus. And don't call me Greg.
How'd it go with the music teacher?
Oh, scrumptious ate out of my hand the minute I said hello.
She did?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, did you cut a swath tonight. I mean, even for a minute there, I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just how you would, like, imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Yeah! Oh, that's kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It used to only take 10 days for the band instruments to arrive.
It still does. It takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Ah, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? Greg, you can't pass yourself off as a music teacher. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars?
You don't know one note from another.
Oh, I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System where you don't bother with notes.
But Greg, in 4 weeks, the people are going to want to hear the music. You are going to have to lead the band.
Once the uniforms arrive, they forget about everything else, at least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town.
Of course you do.
Now, if you will excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
Oh, gonna line yourself a little canoodling, huh?
Well?
Say, why don't you let me set you up with Ethel's sister? Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of gal spins webs no spider ever. Now listen, boy. A gal who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. And the only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No cold and glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer and I rave.
Hey!
For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No pride-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll, baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy-eyed miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop! I flinch, I shy. When the lass with the delicate air goes by, I smile, I grin. When the gal with a touch of sin walks in, I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl, the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
I gotta go.
Professor Hill, we're all agog. We're simply agog.
Oh, the Keviv!
Oh, everyone is so excited about the band.
I'm Ethel Toffelmeyer, the pianola girl.
Oh, and this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks, and you've met Eulalie McKechnie Shin, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
No, I couldn't say. Oh, no, I could not say. I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Well, of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plan includes a committee on the dance. Oh, wait, Mrs. Shin, do that again. Your foot the way you raised it just now.
Well, I have a bunion here that bothers me.
Oh, what grace. What natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and
Line, yeah.
movement.
Ooh, Mr. Hill.
Mrs. Shin, say that you'll accept the chairmanship for the Ladies' Auxiliary of the Classic Dance, mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Delsart. Will you? Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
You Lady McKechnie Shin. Dancing.
Can you accept?
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say
Thank you. Now, for the young lady who plays piano, Marion Peru, I believe. Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
Professor, I really shouldn't tell you this, but her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. She advocates dirty books.
Dirty book.
Chaucer, Rabelais, Balzac. And of course, I really shouldn't tell you this, but...
No, let me tell. The man lives on my street. Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here, old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium? Madison Picnic Park? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison.
Exactly. Who'd you think he was, anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Yes. Oh, yes. That woman made brazen overtures with the gilt-edged guarantee. She had a gold glint in her eye and a silver bush with a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel. Here, where a woman's heart should be.
He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer,
Rabelais,
We need your credentials.
Well, of course, gentlemen. I have just what you want over at my hotel. Please, come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now.
It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
what are you talking about?
Oh, you were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
Well, no apologies, no explanations, please. You see, I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what did you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and a great big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us, if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademan had to whisper the news to Madam Librarian. Ian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion.
Oh.
Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it in the moonlight. And a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking aloud with any librarian, such as Marion. Madam Librarian. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking aloud with any librarian, such as Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights. Seeing Madam Librarian, Marshmallow.
What?
Ian.
No! Oh!
out Tommy. 11 sales out of 12 tries. I'd say that was a pretty good morning. Tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you run home and grab some supper, huh?
All right. Goodbye, Professor.
All right. Oh, thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mr. Mayor. I collect doorbells. This particular specimen has an unusual tone quality.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
Mr. Mayor, I just missed you. Oh, no. Your hand.
What? What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
It is? What does it mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on the B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good! Why, it means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How do I get one of those horns?
Sign here. Fine, fine. That'll be $17 import fee.
Think I could have gone all this time without having a... Wait a minute. I haven't got a son. You unscripeless, flew-by-night, you unfibulous... I want you down to City Hall with your by-God references by 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Miss Prue, you realize you have all the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso.
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your son has those same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George, well, not that he could ever be really great, you understand?
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No! No, really! Well, that clinches it. Sign here, Miss Peru. Your son was born to play the cornet. Fine, fine. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at the opening of band practice. And of course, I'll need his measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Oh, hello, son. Why, certainly his uniform. And there won't be a penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, all at no cost whatever. Never allowed the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasure and excitement of today.
Would it have a
stripe? Why, certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe down each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. But if you get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'll pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, maverine pinching, terrace, whole minstrel singing Irishman, big up and beat jobber swearing you from me by.
Gary, Indiana.
I know it, Gary. Where'd you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Oh, yes, indeed. Gold medal class of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Peru, of course. I thought the name sounded familiar. You know, I've been trying to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, he may have his father's musical gift. He does have me jaw.
Is your husband musical? Oh, I would like to talk to
Do you
him.
burst in on everyone's homes like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion.
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I'm sorry. That is all the more reason why your brother should have something...
My brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years now. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Miss Peru, I have you... You know, I have the feeling she likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but oh, I admire that in a woman. You just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. So, sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch 14.
Oh, fine, fine. That's all I need. Now I must get back to my hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion.
Oh,
She's not
please.
very good, but...
Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure at heart, she is as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Good day.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Oh, darling, don't you ever think about your future. Gary, conservation class of ot 5. Now, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. But it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're here. Yes, please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book that I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to say anything. I've written it all down. Here you are. Thank you, dear.
Now what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I think the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I don't expect Luther Greiner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does.
Or Ed Gamage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting on a man in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please, dear Venus, show me now. All I want is a plain man. All I want is a modest man, a quiet man, a gentle man, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he'd ponder what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him where the others ride by, walk and love him till I die, till I
Zanita. Hey, Zanita.
Tommy, Mom and Pop are sitting right there in the bank. Ye gods!
Then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's Etheric League night. Meet you where?
The footbridge?
You see, isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumberyard, and now the footbridge. And where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
I just want to show you my new invention.
What invention?
Well, it's my music holder for the marching piccolo player. See, it has a few minor flaws. When you keep it tight enough to hold the music up, it cuts off your circulation and you can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing, or all you hate with the horses. I want that spellbinder's credentials, I said. morning of July the 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife's off dancing in any and all hours instead of in the home.
But George!
The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city business. My oldest girl's off boodling with some wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far, I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I just found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. About the only thing I can get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
Yes. If you take some time to read this book about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look any further.
The wagon is just coming up from the depot.
Wells Fargo wagon. A likely story. At this hour? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon. The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday. In March, I got a gray Mackinac. And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A prepaid surprise or COD.
It could be curtains,
Partition,
or a double boiler,
or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
and I expect a new rocking chair.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
The DAR has sent a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh ho, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to leave. It could be something for someone who has no real life in, but it could be something special just for me.
Oh, the
instruction in due time. In the meantime, stay off the street, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Sister, isn't this the most scrumptious solid gold thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd see anything so scrumptious as this solid gold thing. Oh, sister.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tooting out of those horns in short order, or I'll have you in front of the grand jury down at the county seat. Miss Mary, and about that book.
Come, George! Tempus Fugits!
You watch your phraseology. You go on home if you want to, but I need to get something from the librarian. Marion, about that book.
Ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely, ladies, lovely. Now turn. Take the body with you. Oh, lovely. Now, let's have a go at our Grecian urns. Come, come. One Grecian urn. Two Grecian urns.
Wow, that's two.
And a fountain.
Oh.
Terrific.
Where did I didn't try some water. Magnificent.
Oh, splendid, ladies. Oh, I predict our Delsart display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. Now, gentlemen, if you're ready. And ladies, remember, don't make me tell you again. Always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlap.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my cup.
It's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello, dear, that sets me up.
And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner or truer or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, girls, smile.
Yes, it's you.
Oh, yes, it's you. No.
Let us in.
You have no idea. You guys, Mrs. Shin, my head. Stop.
Mr. Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
I understand that, Mrs. Shin, but these kids, you try to keep them back. I'm sure. Okay.
Mr. Washburn, wait till you see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
What'll it be?
The Shaboopy!
The Shaboopy! Now, a woman who kissed on the very first date is usually a hussy, but the woman who kissed on the second time out is anything but fussy. But the woman who waits for the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground, she's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his Shaboopy, 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 Shaboopy.
The girl who's hard to get.
Shaboopy, Shaboopy, Shaboopy. Walk her once just to raise the curtain. Walk around twice to make for certain. Once more in the flower garden. Never get sore if you beg her pardon.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, so, fa, mi, re, do.
Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. Get squeezed back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pepper upper. Never get sore on the way to supper.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do.
Now Lil sells no gal as anyone can see. Look at her now, she's a go-gal who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. Get squeezed back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pepper upper. Never get sore on the way to supper.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do.
Shaboopy, Shaboopy, Shaboopy.
The girl who's hard to get.
Shaboopy, Shaboopy, Shaboopy.
But you can bring her yet.
Come on, Tommy! Wow! No, not anymore. All right! Here we go.
off my oldest girl.
Papa! Mr. Shin, Your Honor, your daughter and I are going steadily behind your back.
Why, you
Well, we'd rather do it in front of your back.
Do
but-
what? Never mind.
Zanita's scared of you, but I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you, Julie Clyde.
I'm gonna give you just one more chance. If I ever catch you touching her again, I'm gonna by God horse whip you till hell won't have it no more.
Now, George!
Not a poop out of you, madam.
I think he means peep.
I want you out of this public building.
I have as much right in a public building as anybody.
Right? What gives you a right to anything? Aiding and abetting the scandalous activities of that spellbinding cymbal salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out. Get out, you wild kid.
Papa, please. It's captains like you who make blood in the marketplace. Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Now go home. You, Laylee, you tend to your dance.
My dance.
I'll tend to Zanita, taking up with kids from the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me cover to cover all last week, didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest... Yes!
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know I am vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy has got the confidence of every kid in this town. You're going to be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, its members are going to have to foregather in their wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they're going to have from tripping all over their beards. I'll tell you something, never mind. Oliver, J.C., Ewart, Olin. I want that man's credentials, and I want him tonight. Do not let him out of your sight. He is slippery in a Mississippi sturgeon.
Do you mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him to jail. I couldn't be any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
That's not clear.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths, and a brave man, only 500. Fortunately, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor, and well, maybe a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself would help, but, well, I just couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill?
You would.
Well, I would be glad to. I wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Yes, mother of pearl
Yes,
keys.
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. The first week or so, he made a few experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats.
Yes, and he sings the minuet and G-da-da-da-da almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well,
he tells me you told him it wasn't necessary. He told me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor.
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary new method, and, well, I'll admit, so is Galileo's conception of the heavens, and Columbus's conception of the egg, globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you will allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Oh, Miss Peru, please join our Tell Sarts committee.
You were such a dear dancing Bishop Poofy with Professor Hill. You dance like a fairy princess with a moonbeam for a floor. You have a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold. Here, where woman's heart should be.
Fairy princess, moonbeam floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now unfold, heart of gold. Here, where woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all.
Tosser,
Rabelais, ball, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 pick a little, talk a little, cheep.
I'm sorry, Professor, but we got our orders.
We've all been deputized.
Yes, congratulations. Well, now, let's see. You know, I've been trying to give you gentlemen my references and credentials all week, but somehow you managed to get off the subject somehow. I have just what you want up in my hotel room. Take me a second.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to go with you.
Well, of course. Let me see if I have my key. Oh, what is this? Oh, a testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player ever to appear in the Red Path Circuit. That was her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
May I see that for a second?
No, you'll never forget the name. It's same as the old song, Lida Rose. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Dream of now, dream of then, dream of a love song that might have been. I love you, oh yes, I love you, and I'll bravely tell you that only when we dream again. Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet the memory, how long ago, forever, oh yes, forever, will I ever tell you, oh no.
Lida Rose, oh,
Dream
Lida Rose,
of
I'm home again,
now,
Rose, to get the sun back
dream
in the
of then, dream of a love song that might have been. Do I love you? Oh yes, I love you,
the chapel bell
and
chime.
I'll bravely tell you, but only when we dream
Suggestion, I'll pop the
again.
question.
Sweet
Lida Rose,
and
I'm home again,
low,
Rose, without a sweetheart to
sweet
my
and
name.
low, how
Lida
sweet
Rose,
that
now everyone knows that I'm
memory,
hoping
how
you're the
long ago,
same.
forever,
Here's my love
oh yes,
song,
forever,
not fancy or fine.
will I ever tell
Lida
you?
Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Ah, yes, ah, no. Oh, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama.
Now, nothing. If he comes to call again, you get him alone. And if you haven't gotten the gumption to tell him how you feel,
Tell
then
him.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a lady like him.
Mama! Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing!
And with Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
Uh-huh. And look, I still have some worms left.
Oh, did you have a good time?
Scrumptious.
He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and he said that he'd take me there someday. And he also taught me a song with barely any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on this elegant incubation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on this elegant incubation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I'll be back. I gotta throw Amaryllis, my live frog.
A live frog.
Leave the dishes, Mama. I'll do them.
Don't you have to change for the sociable?
Oh, there's time later.
Excuse me, Shins live around here?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, criminy. See you the piano teacher in town. Must know something about this fellow Hill forming a boys band here?
Yes?
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades, twindling two-bit thimble ringer. That's why I gotta see Shin. I'm just passing through, and the number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop, but woo! Sure wish it were 20. Like to concentrate a good 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. But right now, I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Oh, mistake my old lady's corset cover. This fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth for just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he will not spoil Iowa. And say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see right through him? I mean, he's no more professor than
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his scholastic...
Just a minute. Fine director? Have you heard one note of music?
No, but...
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you would just listen to me for 1 minute.
Oh, I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that, if I had the time. Sure got the inclination. But I got to get back on that train and leave this dynamite with someone at the depot. See you next time through, girly girl.
Oh, you'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
Oh, no, sir. I got to leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Well, now, just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No! I meant I don't know you.
Yeah, I'd need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
There's no trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met an anvil salesman before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that much. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? I missed that train. I get fired, and I gotta leave word on this fella Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters anyway?
Try me. Oh, there's your train now. Run for it.
You double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting anyway? That fella's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it from every one of them. That's 102 counties. Not in counting the piano teachers like yourself that he cozies up with just to keep their mouths shut. Neither of you have heard the last of me, girly girl.
At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marian. Light a rose now, everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose,
Marian,
won't you
who was you just talking to right now? Oh, Professor Hill.
Miss Peru, top of the evening to you, Miss Marian.
Professor, you and Marian come up and sit. I've got some jelly on the stove.
Oh, there's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we, set?
Well,
As your mother said?
I...
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Oh, no, Miss Marian, I'm not suggesting your invitation inferred anything other than academic enlightenment. The think system. You know, I've been by your place a time or two to try to explain it to you this week, and there always seems to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Oh, I'm glad. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, that is evidently not the convenient night. I will see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? What I'm trying to say is...
Yes?
Is it true that you've developed a think system?
What? Oh, a think system, yes! And it is really very simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply think a tune up here, and it comes out clearly here. Now, why don't you try this yourself without asking any questions?
I take your word.
Can we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well...
Are they all as fascinated as I am with the think system?
Some more and some less. You know, one young lady had thought up the same system before I got to her town, and she showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. I'm sure you have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
It must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now, say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Oh, now, Miss Marian, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a sure job so that Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe...
Oh, no, absolutely not. But that is exactly what I am saying. Where do you think those rumors get started?
Narrow-mindedness. Jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly, and jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh. Nothing about you personally, just generally.
Well, what have you heard, generally?
Oh, just that. But of course, it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, well, take you for instance, and your attentions to customers and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? Well, now, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
Well, and as you say, if another salesman or someone were jealous, well, they could be downright lies now, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear now, doesn't it? I mean, if you discuss things.
Miss Marian, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But can't we do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps.
We could also sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Oh, just to talk.
I've got to dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time? Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, you pile up enough tomorrows, and you will find you have collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I would like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama!
What?
I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised. It works.
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Greg!
Yeah?
The uniforms, they're here. The kids, they're already in them. The people will be screaming for music if they show up at the social bowl.
All right. Hey, what time does the freight leave?
Well, before we get to that, I've got the dough. Collected it from Tommy. He's trying to keep the kids together at least, pretending to have practice down at the lumber yard.
All right, go get the rig. And what time does the freight leave?
I got the rig, and it's at 9:40 like we talked about.
All right, well, go ahead and I'll meet you over there.
Look, if you want to turtle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go right ahead.
Don't worry, Mars. I will meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Now go on, get out of here. Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
I didn't mean that. I meant you were about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Miss Marion, certainly you don't think I've been selling you anything.
No. No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving you anything.
Yes, you have. Something beautiful. Well, that's why I came, and I'm glad. Please don't think I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. That's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind. For me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
there was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. Marion, there are a lot of things you don't know about me.
Greg!
Excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz, and this could be it. Are you nuts?
Look, who's the salesman around here? Looks like she's selling and you're buying.
I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I told you I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? I told you that.
Off balance? She's so far off balance, you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I have come up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I am not resigning without my commission.
But, Greg, you can't get anywhere out here on the footbridge.
Oh, relax. There's a place over at Madison Park near the sociable makes this footbridge look like an old lady's home. Now go on, scram.
Oh, I'm gonna get the rig. I'm gonna go and get the rig.
Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yes. Well, we don't have to go into all that just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, though she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music Gold Medal class of '05. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory in '05.
There absolutely
Because
was.
the town wasn't even built until '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time.
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came, I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't... You little? With 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oom-pahd up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
Well, 110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's trying to go over town, spill the beans on everything.
Crazy? I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job because of you. But I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. Be in the clink right now if it weren't for that little piano teacher. Told her all about you. What'd she do? Lily gags me around till I couldn't get the shin. Little dried up, man-hungry doxy, round-heeled fizz-gig.
Talk about that way again and I'll hit you again. You get out of here.
Big bully, you big blow-off. I'll stay in this town till you get yours. Up, down, sideways, and through. You never even knew the territory.
Hey, I got your stuff. The rig, it's in the alley. Come on, let's go.
Two Grecian urns. And a fountain.
Stop! Listen to this man.
You gullible green grass goats. Can't you get it through your head that you're being swindled out your eye teeth right now this minute? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling around in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Highwayman, road agent, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister. Yours, madam, and yours too, little lady, ever since the first moment he arrived in this town. Why, there's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never has been any band. and there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the first train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
That one is high!
Catherine, when you find him, bring him to school, boy.
Find him, bring him in.
Look at the crib. Check the low road. Look at the mill. Back in the crib. He can be everywhere. You find that kid. Get him.
Marion, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
I've been looking all over for Winthrop. He's run away. Oh, please go, Harold. Please. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
Marion, I had to see you.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now, please hurry, please.
He's down here, folks. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Oh, hey, whoa, wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Let go of me.
No, not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You would tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
Would too tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Let go of me.
What's the
big
matter? You
liar.
wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're going to stand there and get it all, so you may as well quit wiggling. Now, there are two things you are entitled to know. One, you are a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band. So you'd quit moping around and feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing is none of your business, come to think of it.
I wish you never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he's ever said.
He promised us.
I know what he promises, and it happened just as he said. The lights and the flags and the colors and symbols.
Where was all that?
In the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor.
You can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. And there was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Greg! 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 They are here! Greg!
Come on,
We
Professor.
must go!
No way,
Greg!
no way.
This way! Come on, Greg! This way! This way! This way! I just don't understand. Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. And rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by now. And always remember, fellow River citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to stop this dire happening from happening. 4
We've done to get our money back.
Professor collected nearly $300 on uniforms just tonight.
Yeah, and we ain't even seen any uniforms yet.
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms or my brother since after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Why is Luis in here?
70. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Hill. And if, as I have heard, there are those who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our Iowa stubborn chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Well, do you remember? Do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City, and if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You are wasting a great deal of time here. If there's any person in this auditorium who thinks this man Hill should not be tarred and feathered, let him stand up now. Eulalia, sit down. And the rest of you standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Don't you remember how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced instruments? Don't you remember the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where is the band? Where is the band?
Oh, they look wonderful. Oh, they're adorable. There's Linus. Oh, they look so nice.
Think, men. Think.
That's Winthrop.
Welcome to River City. I just came in on the train this morning and saw this lovely thing. Yeah, she's lovely. Yeah, here to sell some band instruments. Everybody loves a band instrument. In fact, not him. Yeah, you actually remind me a lot of William Howard Taft's grandson. Are you related? I know he's our new president and all, so I don't know if you've actually seen him yet. Yeah. These socks, speaking of president, these socks were actually from Mr. Teddy Roosevelt himself. Yeah, he wore those on safari and brought those back for me. They're made from a Appalachian sheep's wool. Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Marion Peru. I'm the librarian and music teacher here in River City, and this is my brother Winthrop. Why don't you say your name? Say something. It's a little shy. Winthrop, what are you excited about? He's getting a cornet. Mama bought you one. Are you excited for the Wells Fargo wagon? He's very excited. Can't wait to get started. We're gonna have 2 musical geniuses in the family, the piano and the cornet. It's gonna be so fun. The Wells Fargo's coming to town. Why don't you tell them what you do for me at the library? Oh, I guess that's it.
But well,
yes?
I'm excited for my band instrument. I'm getting a cornet. And Harold, he taught me a song with no F's in it. Well, barely. It was called Gary, Indiana. And it's fun.
You want to sing a little bit for me?
Sure. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again.
That was lovely, dear.
And he's gonna teach me my band instrument too.
The cornet?
And then we're gonna make a band, and then it's gonna be so much fun.
I'm so excited for you.
I am Mayor George Shinn, Mayor of River City. I don't know who this ruffian is.
Professor Harold Hill, Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
So he says.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I've yet to see your credentials.
Yeah, I've got some with me there. I'll show them
Can
right
you share
when
them
we're
with
done.
the school board? The school board's been trying to get those for days now.
Oh, I've tried to show them, and I just keep happening to miss them.
Indeed. Well, I'll make sure they come and spend more time with you.
Oh,
We'll take
please.
them a little further. You seem like one of those people who just...
That's excellent. You belong in my band.
I do. Well, thank you. That'd be one. No, wait a minute. I don't play an instrument or sing. How is my singing related to a band?
Well, singing is just sustained talking.
It is.
Yes.
It is then. So if I just keep talking like this, that you say that's singing?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like it. Let me see. If I just keep talking like this, you think this is singing? No, wait a minute. I've never sung before. I don't know if that would be singing.
This might be more this tone.
Yeah, well, I don't like your tone. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, let's see.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I didn't know I could sing in a chord like that. That's great. I don't think, speaking of in a chord,
That's
I'm
the
not
number 9
we're not
train.
in a
I'll see you
chord.
later.
We are not in a chord. We are not in a chord at all. Hello, I'm Mayor George Shinn, and this is my lovely wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shinn. We run a fine town here in River City. It's full of wonderful river citizens, isn't that true?
Yes, George.
Oh, you can come to the Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of the Pompeii. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be held this Friday, provided the rain holds off till 9:30. So, wonderful opportunity for people to come and enjoy the town. Oh, yes, and there'll be a fine performance led by my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shinn. She'll be leading the singing and leading the women's auxiliary. It'll be a wonderful opportunity. You do a great job there. Terrific.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
and we have a lovely daughter, too. Our family is just beautiful.
George.
So we have 2 children. Well, I like them both. They're both fine young women. I'm a little worried about Zanita, and she's been hanging out with that boy. Tommy Gillis. Seems like he's causing all kinds of trouble. I just don't like him. You like him?
Oh, yes, George.
No, you do not.
Oh, no, George.
That's what, of course you don't. There are all kinds of fine things that go on in our town. Again, mostly, of course, rather Harold Hill came to town. I just don't believe in that young man. People seem to like him, though. I think he's a hornswoggler.
Well,
I
he
don't-
is rather charming.
But you lately,
Oh, well.
it's got things to say.
Not as charming as you,
Thank you,
George.
thank you. I think he's just a snake in the grass. This kind of person just cannot trust. I don't like a man who's, taller than I am, stands up straight like that. He should be leaning over so he shows respect to the mayor of the city here.
Of course, George.
I mean, the other citizens are always very respectful and kind, and mostly. So to have a good community like this, I don't want somebody in here who's causing trouble. He's causing all kinds of trouble.
I'm Tommy Gillis, and I got my girl here, and people don't really respect me in town. They kind of see me as ragtag and all that, just because I'm from the other side of the tracks.
Tommy, you have such a great heart. You're so smart.
I've almost had perpetual motion a couple times. Pool Boys Gang does a lot, actually, for the people. We help old ladies across the street. We've saved a couple cats from trees. That's how Zanita and I met.
God.
I saved her cat Juice. The new professor in town, God, we love him. He's having me do a couple things, like mechanically I have to make this new stand. Forgot for what instrument. All I know is that no one's invented it yet, so I'll be the first.
Tommy, it's Papa.